April 2026 has some absolute bangers coming. New RPGs, new survival games, new MMOs.
We're gonna sit down and discuss the games we're most looking forward to. So lie back, grab some popcorn, and let's do this.
Road to Vostok is a hardcore single-player survival FPS developed by Finnish creator Antti. You're dropped into a gritty post-apocalyptic border zone between Finland and Russia where you'll scavenge for loot, have to manage your hunger, hydration, fatigue, really channeling those survival mechanics. You'll also engage hostile enemy factions, customize shelters, trade, and hope to God you don't die in that permadeath zone, since one small mistake here could end your entire playthrough. I'm not personally a fan of this mechanic myself, but I know plenty of people love that thrill. Thus far, the game seems to be launching into early access on PC via Steam on April 7th. There is no mobile or console release planned at present. It's a little surprising that they're opting for no multiplayer support for this one because I feel like it could have made for some very fun, interesting interactions, but the removal of multiplayer also removes the option of toxicity and cheaters, so I do see the benefit, especially with permadeath.
Lugh World is an action combat monster taming MMORPG set in an open world where you'll adventure with your friends to capture the creatures of Lugh World. The game touts a PvPvE world where you'll ride, glide, and adventure with your friends with your Lughs. This game has been fairly quietly coming, and I'm betting you didn't even know about it until this very moment. It will be dropping into early access on April 9th on Steam with future plans for mobile and console. But bear in mind that this is a Brazilian indie company, so brace for bumps along the way, but we hope their game captures our hearts and yours. Honor of Kings World is a multiplayer open world action RPG with a lot of MMO elements. So many, in fact, that when we were flown out to Gamescom in 2025, the Chinese team informed us that it was a full MMORPG. It expands on the Honor of Kings IP, one of, if not the largest, most played, highest grossing gaming property in the world. From what we played at Gamescom, the game looks stunning. It played beautifully, smoothly, and fluidly. If that's enough adverbs for you, I can keep going. The main point was it was great. It had a lot of class diversity, challenging encounters. Styx had to get up on stage in front of hundreds of people to display his elite skills as a gamer. Sadly, he failed the first boss. Oh no. But he won the second, saving himself from humiliation. Of course, I will never let him live that down, but let's not let him in on that. The world is large and seamlessly explorable. It has a fully co-op questing system, allowing players to team up for the main story quests, side quests, and massive boss fights. It has lots of gorgeous areas to explore. It features real-time action combat. It has perfect dodge system, melee, ranged, and magic classes. It's not as wuxia as Where Winds Meet, but it definitely has some of those vibes while being a little more fantasy. It is launching onto PC and mobile with no console versions planned at present. It launches in China on April 10th for PC, with mobile coming shortly after. Note, mobile has its own dedicated client and UI separate from PC, with the game being built for PC first. A global release date hasn't been confirmed yet, but it is most definitely coming. You can play the Chinese version with a Bilibili account if you have one. Otherwise, you'll have to wait.
Mongil Stardive is a beautifully vibrant, free-to-play monster taming action RPG developed by Netmarble. The core gameplay loop involves collecting and taming monsters and using their unique abilities in battle, kind of like what Perlevis was going for with Dokkaevi. Combat is fast-paced, real-time action with a triple tag team system. You control a party of 3 characters. You swap between them on the fly for skills, tag combos, dodges, and ultimate abilities. It features a semi-open, explorable world, a highly humorous narrative. I played through the entire story during the beta, and it was genuinely engaging with flashy Unreal Engine 5 visuals. It is confirmed to be releasing on April 15th, 2026 worldwide on PC via the Epic Games Store and Netmarble Launcher, also onto iOS and Android. Console was confirmed, but we don't have a definitive release date for either platform yet. If you're a fan of games like Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact or even Pokemon, then this will be right up your alley, because I am, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. I am a huge fan of the Xenoblade games. Shulk is such an incredible protagonist, and N's emotion when it came to M was absolutely mind-blowing and emotionally driven. This trilogy has cemented itself as one of the greatest I've ever played, but I never truly had the opportunity to play X until now. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is a remastered and expanded version of the 2015 Wii U open-world action RPG from Monolith Soft and Nintendo. It's much more sci-fi and much less anime than any of the three main games, and is much more open and mission-oriented as opposed to narrative-driven, which is a nice change of pace. You create your own character, you pilot giant mechs called skells, you can fly, and best of all, it's completely overhauled much like 1 was, although not nearly as significantly. It released onto the Switch back in March 2025, but is hitting the Switch 2 with a special edition on April 16th featuring 60 FPS and 4K resolution. Sadly, it remains a Nintendo exclusive, meaning no PC, no PS5, no Xbox, maybe one day. I'm hoping it's as good of a JRPG as its predecessors though. Capcom have pushed out some absolute bangers over the years, and Pragmata might be another to add to that list. It's a real-time action game with third-person shooting, hacking, although I did hear the hacking becomes a little bit tedious as the game draws on. This is a sci-fi action-adventure game that tackles a deep, complex narrative from the perspective of two different characters. I've read reviews from people that played the demo and have heard a lot of good things about it, which leaves me hopeful that it's going to be something fun to play. I love the human-android dynamic that's present, and I do hope it really delves deep into their relationship. It releases on April 17th, actually moving forward a week from its original April 24th date, with platforms including the PS5, Xbox XS, PC, via Steam, and the Switch 2. I'm just glad to have something unique to play in an ocean of open-world RPGs and multiplayer shooters. Albion Online is a free-to-play fantasy sandbox MMORPG. I'm sure the vast majority of you as MMO players have either heard of, or at the very least played it at one point or another. It's a game that emphasizes player freedom. Nearly everything is player-crafted, creating a fully player-driven economy where you can gather resources, you can craft gear, you can trade on the marketplace, you can build homesteads, raise animals, conquer territories. There is an extensive amount of things that you can do. PvE, things that you can do, along with full loop PvP for the tryhards out there. I'm not into that myself, and I tend to avoid anything pertaining to full loot or permadeath, which is why I noted up above I wasn't really sure about Road to Vostok, the permadeath zone in specific, because at the end of the day, I just don't have time to grind for something only to lose it. It's available on PC with a full mobile port release a couple of years back, but an official console release onto Xbox has been confirmed for April 21st, bringing the game to potentially hundreds of thousands of new players, expanding their reach even further with optimized controller support, a reworked console UI, and full crossplay, progression, and functionality.
Loftia is a cozy solarpunk MMO developed by Cloud Games, taking significant inspiration from games like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, and classic MMOs. It's set on a vibrant floating island in the sky and invites you to build a sustainable life in a shared world that grows through community efforts. You can farm, craft, decorate your personal island home, and you can also go out and explore new biomes or abandoned areas. You can socialize, or not, depends on what you want to do. I'm not going to socialize, I don't know about you guys. And contribute to larger community projects that restore the land and unlock fresh content for everyone. This is a very social experience, so I'm gonna try to be social, I guess, with environmental themes and collaborative world building rather than competition. This is a wholesome, low-stress MMO that functions like a life sim. They're targeting a PC and Switch release with early access planned for 2026. A closed beta test begins on April 22nd and runs through May 6th, which we may have access for to stream and do videos on, so be on the lookout for that.
Mahou Arms is an anime-inspired single-player character action hack-and-slash game developed by a very small indie team. Originally, I believe it was being developed by a single guy. I think I did a dedicated video on this like 5 years ago. You essentially lead a group of hot, magical girls, and you try to reclaim Earth from an alien invasion. It's a simple premise, and honestly, it is a simple game. You run missions, you fight enemies across numerous different levels, you collect waifus. I don't believe it's a gacha game from everything that I've seen and played myself. It is fully launching onto Steam on April 27th, finally exiting a 6-year-long early access. There doesn't seem to be any plans for mobile or console at present, although I think it would have highly benefited from a console release. Ys Memoire Revelations in Celceta is a remastered version of the 2012 action RPG Ys Memories of Celceta. I'm a pretty big fan of the IP, having played it for what seems like over 2 entire decades now. Not every title, granted, I've missed quite a few, but several over my life. It is a very generic JRPG, and I'm not saying it's generic in a bad way. Sadly, every single Ys game does follow a relatively generic formula, but it always seems to work. They tend to be fun, enjoyable action games with a decent story, and I have no doubt Memoire is going to be equally as fun. It features the same classic fast-paced action style of previous entries, hack and slash, special skills, party system with up to 3 characters. Each character is unique, has different strengths and weaknesses. It features large areas to explore, tons of side quests, hidden treasures, and dynamic events. It's releasing globally on April 28th with no PC, PS5, or Xbox release confirmed. Do note this did release in Japan in 2025, so we're getting this a little late, which is fine, as long as the game's good. And finally, Neverness to Everness. This is a free-to-play, supernatural, urban, open-world action RPG developed by Hada Studio, the team behind the Tower of Fantasy MMO. This is a fast-paced, real-time hack-and-slash action game set in an enormous, seamless open world. Lots of people are labeling it anime GTA, but as someone that is heavily sponsored by them and has played every version of the game since its first beta, it is far from it. There are some similarities, the urban world, vehicles, etc., but it's closer, I think, in similarity to Genshin with some urban features in GTA, which is honestly fine. I like Genshin and I like games like Genshin. It is launching fully cross-platform onto PC, PS5, and mobile on April 29th. This is one of the few gacha games releasing this year that I think may truly stand out. And that is everything that caught our interest in April.
There's a lot of diversity and a lot to waste some hours in. Hopefully you have as much fun as we're about to. Logging off for now, Mr. and Mrs. Sticks. Bye!
I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.